So in this tutorial today, I'm going to show you how to create a love UI. For example, if you have a character here, like Maple, when you go into her dorm room, you have the three options of being able to talk to them, being able to give them a gift, or being able to go on a date with them. These are the images that I have in the folder. The first one I have is for the characters. So this character is going to be Maple. I have her in different sort of emotions that she's going to run through when she's talking to you. I have one for the bedroom, so that's going to be for Maple's dorm room, where the main screen is going to be. And then I have the festival for the date option. That's where it'll bring you to. I then have two different buttons. One is in the idle state and one is when you hover your mouse over it. So those are all the images that I have. When you get brought into your script file, what we can do is we can get rid of everything here. Let's get rid of all of this. We can keep this and we can paste it into label start so that we just have this. So we can define our character, but she's going to be called Maple. And we'll put MA for Maple. The next thing that we want to do is what I like to do is I like to have this after I call var start. So this is just how I like to kind of define certain things. And I'm going to have a label down here, call it var start. This stands for variable start. And I'm going to have all my variables in here. So I'm going to bring Maple down into here. Let's have a comment telling me that these are variables for Maple. Can have her defined, and the next two things we're going to define is Maple stats. Have that equal to 0 for the moment. Don't need any semicolons. And then we're going to define Maple chat. So Maple chat is going to be the path that you're on. So if you've just started talking to her, or if you're towards the end of her dialogue, that's going to keep track of that. Maple stats is going to be, say, the love heart, for example. So the reason that these are two different things is the chat is the path you're on, but the stats are you can give her extra gifts or you can go on dates and that will increase her stats with you. Right, let's get rid of this up here. So when the game starts, it's going to call variable start. So we have all of our variables stored in here. And this is because later on I like to say chapter 1, call chapter 2, chapter 2 and chapter 3. And as I am playtesting the game, I can just say, right, I'll get rid of these two. Let's just focus on chapter 2. Or let's just focus on chapter 3. But I still need all of these variables. So it's not a good idea to call chapter 1 and have a bunch of variables in here, and then call chapter 2 and have a bunch of variables in there, because it means that you'll run into problems if I'm on chapter 3, but I needed some variables that I stored in chapter 1 or chapter 2. Okay? So this is just how I like to split up. I like to make sure I call variable start, has all my variables run through, and then I can go on and playtest different chapters. So what we are going to do for Maple is we're going to we won't call it chapter 1, we'll call it Maple Path. So this is the path of Maple. And we're going to put all of this into a different script so that we keep it clean. So up here you want to hit new file. You're going to call it we'll say mapleroom.rpy, and we'll save that. Okay, so this has brought in another one. We want to make sure that we use this same naming convention because this is what it's going to call, label Maple Path, and that's going to go through here, and we're going to call here, we're going to go straight into here. Okay, so let's start building Maple's room. So what we want to do is have a scene. We're going to have BG And we're going to bring up that folder again. It's called BG Bedroom Girl. BG Bedroom Girl. Okay, we're going to have with fade, so it fades into it. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to show Maple. And let's see how we want, which one do we want to pick? We can pick, where's a nice one? Let's pick this one, Maple Happy. Now we have Maple appearing. We're going to have her just say hello. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to call screen love UI. First we have to create this, and to do this we're going to create a new file. We're going to call it custom screens.rpy, and inside here take that same screen love UI and paste it here. So it's the same way that you would do a label, but instead you put the screen here. Very important when you call a screen that you have call screen and then the name of the screen. Instead of with labels, you just say call var start, label var start. Okay? Small difference there. So after we call this screen and do our thing, we're going to make sure that we jump back to the Maple path. And this way, we're going to loop this whole section of having the background, having Maple say hello, and then calling the love screen. So whenever we click anything, any of the buttons, it'll return us back to this normal state here. Now, inside our love screen, what we want to do is we want to have a couple of buttons. So the first button we're going to have is to be able to talk to Maple. And to do this, we're going to have an image button. We're going to have an X position. Now I have these specific positions, so you can put these in as well as baseline, and you can move them around to fit wherever you want your buttons to show. I'll just show you the images here. These are the two images I'm going to use, pink label hover and pink label idle. So we're going to have an idle, pink label idle. There was just two. There we go. And then we're going to have hover. We're going to use pink label hover. When we click on this button, there's going to be a certain action associated with it. Our action is going to jump us into Maple talking. Very important that this Maple talking has some quotes around it, because what we're actually doing is we are calling another label. So copy Maple talking, and let's go save this and go back into Maple's room. We're going to create a new label here, and it's going to be the Maple talking label. Anytime we click on this button, this function will be called. And what Maple will say is, I love talking to you. Now let's see how this works when we run this, see what we have so far. So we have Maple showing up on the screen. She says hello. When we continue, oh, our image isn't showing up for some reason, so just give me 1 second. Yeah. Let's have a look as to the reason why this isn't showing up. Oh, I didn't put PNG. Silly me, silly me, silly me. You need to declare the file extension, otherwise it won't show up. Sorry about that. Yay, there it is. We hover over it, it starts shining. Okay, so let's make 2 more buttons show up, and we're going to make sure that on top of these buttons that they say talk, gift, and date. So in order to have text show up on this button, we're going to type in text, and then inside this inside these quotes, we're going to write whatever we want. So for here, I'm going to just have talk. You can have talk like this minus is 10 HP, or put whatever you want in there. You can have like a HP system or something. But that's all we need. Then we are going to define the position. Again, this is the specific position that will fit on this specific button. You can move it around. You can also here put in whatever font you want. This is usually the font's naming convention. Put an S and then you can type in whatever. I don't have any fonts in this, so I'll just keep that as the normal. And then color as well. You can put whatever color you want here. This one has a specific color, but let's see if I type in, yeah, if you just type in 000, it'll show up the black. And then you can just kind of pick whichever one you want. So we'll do it this way. Let's have it in, bring it up here. Let's have it in this one. Okay, you can see the color has actually changed there. So it would probably be better if it is in black though, now that I think about it. So I'm going to keep mine as black. But you can swap your colors that way. It's kind of easy rather than having to find the coordinates for the colors. So gonna hit save on this, and while we're here, let's just copy and paste all of this one more time. Instead of talk, we're going to have gift. And I'm going to change the X position is fine, but we're going to move it down a little bit. So let's put this at 400. Okay, put that Y position at 400. Keep everything else the same. The difference is when you click this button, it won't be Maple Talking, it'll be Maple Gift. And then down here, the text, we'll change that to gift. And the position as well on the Y should be 450. Okay, let's copy the gift and do it one more time. But this last time it'll be for date. And again, everything is fine except for the Y position. We want that at 530. We want the action not to be Maple Gift, Maple Date. And then the text will be date. And then lastly, for your Y position, move that to 530. Let's hit save all. Let's have a look at how this is looking so far. Okay, there we go. Now date is a bit high on the text, and that's because I forgot to move the text down, but you kind of get the gist. Also, when we hit talk, she says, I love talking to you. So that's moved us into the label talking. Okay? Now, one thing you notice when I finished, it's brought us back here. That's because we need another loop. So that's two things we need to do. First thing, we need to move that date text down. So let's move it down to 580. So move that Y position down to 580. That was number one. And number two, in Maple Talking, when she's finished, let's have her jump right back to Maple Path. And that way, it'll have this continuous of the UI coming up and then being able to pick what we want to do. Okay. Let us copy and paste these labels. Maple Talking, that is. And this time we're going to have Maple Gift. We're going to have her say, thank you for the gift. And then this is going to bring us back. And then one more time, we're going to paste that. And we're going to say Maple Date. And she's going to say, this place is amazing. And let's have her show Maple. We'll have her laugh. We'll have her say, thank you for bringing me here. And then up here, we're going to have the scene change. So we're going to have scene BG. I had another image. Let's have a look. It's called BG Festival. So BG Festival with fade. What this is going to do is when we hit Maple Date, it's going to bring us into the date. She's going to say this place is amazing. She's going to change her look. Actually, very important, This background will actually wipe her normal face. So let's keep Maple happy here. We'll have her standard. This place is amazing. She's going to change. And then she's going to say thank you for bringing me here. And it's going to bring us back into the maple path. Okay. Now let's test all three of those. Okay. Here we are. Let's have a chat. She goes, I love talking to you. Brings us back. Hello. Give her a gift. Thank you for the gift. She says hello, and we go on a date. This place is amazing. Thank you for bringing me here. And it brings us back in here, where we can talk again. Now, one additional thing that we can do is we can change the conversations that she's had, making it more of a dialogue. So let's go and do that as a little extra. So the whole reason that we have Maple Stats and Maple Chat, this is where this is coming into play now. So inside of Maple Talking, what we're going to do is we're going to say if Maple Chat, I believe is what we called it. That's Maple Chat, yeah. If Maple Chat is equal to 0, so if we've just started, we can have her say, hi, I'm Maple. What is your name? And then we can say that it goes up. Maple Chat. We're going to say plus equal to 1. And then we're going to jump back to the start, Maple Path. There. So get rid of this. So if Maple Chat is equal to 0, if you're at the beginning of the path, she's going to say, hi, I'm Maple. What is your name? And then your path is going to go up 1 and you're going to start from the beginning again. Okay? The next time that you hit Maple Path or you hit talking, you're going to be equal to 1. So let's do this again, but this time it's equal to 1. So this time she's going to say, hey, you're back. And the chat's going to go up again one more time. And then lastly, what we can do is we can say 0, 1, it'll be 2. So if you are equal to or if you are greater than, we'll just say greater than or equal to the number 2. Now she can say, I love talking to you. So that should mean that anywhere above the last dialogue, she'll repeat saying, I love talking to you. And we won't give her any additional growth on this one. She'll just stay on the last path forever. But this is just in case it somewhere along the path you accidentally gave her 3 or 4. If you had it equal to, it might throw an error for you. Okay, so let's run through those dialogues, see if they're working. Okay, talk with her. Hi, I'm Maple. What is you name? Hello, talk. Hey, you're back. So that's the second one. And then the last one, I love talking to you. And let's talk to her again. I love talking to you. So that's going to repeat. Okay, and then gift, still there, and the date is still there. Okay. So that was a pretty quick tutorial on how to do a basic Love UI. With the talking, what you can do is say, for example, here she says, at the very start, she says, what is your name? You can have a choice option of giving your name or ghosting her. And depending on picking the right choice, you could move up the dialogue path. For an example, when you hit the talk button, what can happen is there can be a certain choice that you have. So you can either insult the character and not move on to the next dialogue option. So for example, here he says it's kind of messy. Yeah, it is. Don't like it, then get out. And then it can end there. When you talk to them again, you'll be stuck on this same option until you choose the right option. So for example, here, It's kind of messy. No, it's not. It's pretty spotless compared to my room. And then you can have a little love heart and a change of look. So those are just some ways that you can spruce up having a dialogue option with a character. In the next tutorial, if you're interested, let me know. I can show you how to do the proper gift system. So for here, once I click the gift option, it pops up here. And then you can select it based on what you have in your inventory. And then you can hand over the certain food that you give or the certain gift that you have. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial and have a good day.